This is the photograph of Afghan people who managed to enter the C-17 aircraft of US military, which is scheduled to take off from Kabul to Washington. All these peoples are fleeing Afghanistan because their country has been engulfed by manhunters who infamously known as Talibanis. On 50th of August, Kabul fell into the hands of Taliban after United States decided to withdraw its troops from Afghan soil to quote-unquote end the 20 years long war. It only took 3 days for Taliban to fill the vacuum the US was leaving behind. And since the biggest humanitarian crisis was unfolding in Central Asia, media organizations and press officials were also there to tell about the human cost Afghan peoples are going to pay once withdrawal of American troops is complete. We have seen some gut-wrenching reportings of media professionals of several international media outlets and also how irresponsibly Indian media has reported the crisis in Afghanistan. And this is what we are going to talk about today.
Kabul has fallen. Taliban are sweeping through Afghanistan at an extraordinary pace.
Taliban fighters have captured the city of Jalalabad.
When Kabul fell, media was at the forefront in covering this situation. We were being updated about every small and big development that was happening in the region. From desperation of Afghan people to leave their country to the fleeing of Afghanistan's PM Ashraf Ghani, everything was getting captured on cameras. Some worth mentioning names who did some great reporting from Ground Zero were Clarissa Ward of CNN and Sikunder Karmani of BBC. As a chief international correspondent of CNN, Clarissa Ward was in the Afghanistan from day one and were reporting on the stories as they happened. From talking to Afghan people who are unable to leave the country even after having the visa and green card, to reporting in middle of a gunfire, to even having a conversation with the Taliban commanders itself about their intention and their plan for Afghan women, Clarissa Ward did not left any angle in the story unexplored.
At these bottlenecks, you have these very dangerous situations where you have a crush of people and crowds. And one soldier was telling me that yesterday, 2 women actually threw their babies over the fence, trying to throw them to the U.S. soldiers. One soldier actually caught the baby in his arms.
Beauty Salon and many others have actually painted over images on their storefronts of uncovered women.
Dangerous. And most of these people, let me ask you, sir, are you waiting here to get out, or what are you doing here?
Yeah, the most of the people they're traveling here, they're working with the American, with the ISAF.
Right.
They all have the documents for the recommendations, everything.
Right.
The Joe Biden, every day they announce, we take these guys, they're working with the American or with the ISAF.
Yeah.
We take them to the America.
Another worth mentioning reporter is Sikunder Karmani. As a South Asian correspondent for BBC, Karmani was reporting from among the Afghan people and telling the world about their desperation and what future holds for them.
We're being just surrounded by dozens and dozens of people who are desperate to leave, showing us their documents. This chap worked with the Afghan security forces. This chap worked with at a foreign airfield. Someone else who worked with foreign forces, someone else has got other documents. Most of these people don't have permission to leave. Some of them do and still can't get through. Everyone is desperate to get out. Everyone is totally confused as to what to do.
What about the Indian media, you may ask? How they covered the Afghanistan crisis? Well, given the nature of Indian media and its obsession with breaking news, most of the coverage of the crisis was less like a reporting and more like a commentary with the intention of setting a dangerous narrative against a particular community. Prime-time anchors were openly making deeply polarizing comments against Muslims in particular and Islam in general. Parallels have been drawn by star news anchors between what is happening in Afghanistan and what could happen in India if we don't quote-unquote handle the Islam properly in our country. The only exception in this insanity was a coverage of WION, which is India's only international news channel. Channel's South Asia correspondent Anas Malik was doing some serious reporting, not just from Kabul, but also from other provinces of Afghanistan as well.
Thousands and thousands of people are currently literally outside. I've met families in despair, in desperation, those who are criticizing the US as well on the whole process.
So what's the lesson for Indian media to learn from Afghanistan crisis? What is it one thing that international media did differently than Indian media in their coverage of Afghanistan crisis? The foremost thing which is missing in the landscape of Indian journalism is a courage to speak truth to power. Just look at the way US media covered the crisis. What happened in Afghanistan was the making of US government. They were solely responsible for Taliban's takeover of the country. But the media in the United States did not hesitate to criticize Joe Biden for his mishandling of withdrawal of US troops. American newspapers were filled with headlines excoriating the US government for miscalculating the situation in Afghanistan. Can you imagine seeing the same courage among Indian media houses in asking for accountability from Indian government on any issue? How many Indian primetime news anchors you can remember asking tough questions to the government about their mishandling of second wave of coronavirus and about the poor state of Indian economy? Such visuals are rarest and rare for Indian citizens. Journalism is a profession of courage. Speaking truth to power is the essence of this profession. If debacle in Afghanistan has taught us one big lesson to the media, it is this. If you want to get a story out into the world, you have to first dive into it. This has been Ritik Singh, signing off.